Hi, I'm Aleman, and today I'm going to be reading the fourth part of Chapter 3 of my novel, The Anti-Vampire Tale. Gray stands with his hands at his sides, not dancing. So much energy, so beautiful, and standing like a statue, warmth frozen over, waiting for me. I glance at Jake, and then to Lyle, and then back to my Gray. Gray is to men what men are to children. They're all male humans, but are so far apart in development that they require different names. He waits, for me. I could jump right into his arms, but I grasp his hand and put it against my waist. His eyes flash awake. Energy floods back into him, and through him it tingles into me. His voice seems to run down my spine. The whole world tries to tear us apart. The truth of his words sparks a wave of fear that makes my lips twitch. Lyle, Jake, Ponytail Boy, the redhead girl, Fingernails girl, even Ambrosia. Right, they all pulled us apart. Gray's the only boy I've ever wanted this way. So unfair. They won't win. His words warm me, melting all worry, lighting me up from the inside. Closely shorn sideburns run from underneath his shoulder-length hair, giving way to angular, sculpted cheekbones. Smooth skin clinging to them even tighter than his gray shirt stretches over his pecs down toward his small waist. He's a beautifully torn edge, equally full of the savage and the tantalizing. He could send a wolf pack reeling away in fear, or bring any woman to her knees with the same confidence-soaked, right-side sneer of his upper lip. And right now, it's focused on me. His smile sneer raises a little higher as he dances, and I wonder if he is aware he is doing it, or if it is beyond his control. I think I'd tingle even more if I knew his unique smile was uncontrollable around me. My head barely reaches his shoulder, but I leave it there. My cheek presses against him. My eyes close. My face is overtaken in a smile. It's such a wild place. I never thought I'd be happy here. It's so odd that I found him in this strange environment. I feel like I let Ambrosia lead me into hell, only to find someone who doesn't belong here any more than I. I open my eyes, and for the first time while we've been dancing, I see he is looking away from me, toward the stage, Ambrosia dancing. Lots of guys watch her dance, but his face grows disgusted. I ask, "What is it?" His head shakes. I squeeze his forearm. He looks in my eyes, still silent. I say, "Tell me." "Your friend really shouldn't be drinking." "Why not? This is a bar, isn't it?" No, never mind," he says, looking away from me and shaking his head to wipe the topic clear, but he still looks very annoyed. "Did I say something wrong? It was heaven a moment ago with my cheek on his shoulder. So perfect." Now he's angry. What's his problem all of a sudden? I wish I knew. Then I could decide if I'm irritated or if I just want to help him solve it. God, let it be the latter. He looks at me. Intent eyes and strong lines of his cheekbones offer no clues to his thoughts. "You're gorgeous." My bottom lip quickly finds its way behind my top teeth, feeling like it'll burst. His hand reaches my chin. I release my lip, hold back blushing, lift my head. He pulls me in. His lips come together. For me, so close. Colorful drink splatters all over her face near the stage. Furious, Ambrosia shouts at Roderick, who drips with her sweet drink. Roderick's nails dig into her forearm. "Help her!" Before the words are gone from my lips, he's on his way. A wicked smile comes over Roderick's face as Gray approaches. Still grasping her forearm, Roderick tugs Ambrosia roughly to the side. Gray stops directly in front of him, stares him in the eyes, and in a flash, squeezes Roderick's forearm that holds Ambrosia. Veins in Gray's arm throb like raging rivers. Ambrosia's arm slips out of Roderick's grip. Blood runs from the nail marks left behind in her arm. Roderick snarls at Gray as Ambrosia's hand slaps him on the bridge of his nose, leaving a smear of her blood on his face. I can read Gray's lips as he tells Ambrosia, "Walk away." She obeys and turns toward me. Roderick licks at the corner of his mouth, just touching Ambrosia's smeared blood. The two men keep staring at each other, never budging. Gray flings Roderick's forearm back at him, pushing his body back a step. Roderick sneers and puts both his open hands in the air. Gray turns back toward us, his steps very fast, reaching us in no time. He touches my elbow but looks directly at Ambrosia. 15 feet behind him, Roderick climbs onto the stage. Gray says in a desperate voice to my scared friend, "You know what he is. Get the hell out of town and don't come back." She nods, eyes watery. Two tall guys push their way past the DJ table to the end of the balcony and drop down onto the stage with two loud thumps. They walk up to Roderick and the three of them stand in the center, casting their shadows onto the movie screen. The two hired dancers on the pedestals on each side of the screen quickly flee the stage into the crowd. Gray sees it all, looks to me with a whirlwind in his eyes, and turns away toward the bar. He pushes Lyle and the blonde out of his way, abruptly breaking up their leaning on the bar and kissing. With one motion, Gray jumps to the top of the bar, toppling drinks, spilling their liquid across the old stained surface. Grabbing two wooden barmaid stools from the other side, he places them atop the bar, a few feet apart. It looks as though the bartender, who earlier blew him a kiss, now asks him what the hell he is doing. Gray says something to her, his face hard as stone. She nods and throws two towels on the bar, beginning to clean up the mess and console the irate customers. Gray jumps down and starts walking back to me. Lyle follows, shouting after him. Gray ignores him. In front of us, Gray looks sternly at Ambrosia and says, "Wait for it." He turns from her toward the stage. She calls after him, "For what?" He doesn't turn around. His eyes don't glance at me, but his hand quickly brushes over my wrist as he passes. Lyle comes barreling up to us. "What the hell?" Ambrosia holds up her forearm bearing the bloody nail marks and cuts him off loudly. "The guy on the stage did this to me. He's going after them." Lyle stares at her arm. Then looking at Roderick and the two goons on the stage, his face becomes angry. He starts after Gray. "Lyle, no!" I shout, following behind him with Ambrosia in tow. Gray motions to the DJ. He makes a fist and flings his hand out as if imitating an explosion. The DJ nods. In a blur, Gray jumps on the stage. Roderick meets Gray, stopping an inch from him, face to face, just 2 inches shorter than my hunk. His two friends an inch or two shorter than that, one on each side of him, all three staring harshly at Gray.